Thorstein and Gunhild's journey has ground to a halt, as their proposed navigator abandoned them for another fleet. Oh, what a dick. If they are to reach England before the winter arrives, they will need to find a navigator and a replacement crew. Ah, so now we're going to learn about the different ship roles, I presume. 871 CE. Aval's somewhere in Norway.
I can't take you with us, Sigmund. I'm not risking the lives of my men and wife to these sunstones.
You're making a mistake. With Frodi gone, I'm the best navigator you'll find this time of year, and you know it.
You've already deceived us once with your tales of magic pebbles. I'm not letting you steer us into rocks again. Without Frode to guide you, you're as good as blind.
So you'd rather trust whales and winds than your own Fialai? Bjorn was right about you. Try sailing across the sea in this weather. You won't get past the shore. Not without a skilled sailor.
You're absolutely right. I do need a navigator. But you weren't one to begin with.
Oof, that's rough. And we're gonna hope we don't bump into any more robots, though I have my doubts. I have a feeling we're gonna bump into one yet again. Scandinavians called the sea by many names. These titles included Aegir and Seir, which eventually became the modern word for sea. Oh, that's actually quite interesting. The ocean was a source of life. However, her ever-changing mood would sometimes make her violent. Merciless, she could deliver death to unwise seafarers. It was believed that labyrinths, or stone mazes like this one, could trap wicked spirits that might sway the sea into cruelty and violence. A fisherman soon to head out to sea would walk this path, possibly to encourage harmful spirits to follow him and become trapped within the maze. He would then be able to fish in peace. So I'm still disappointed that Ubisoft did not voice these little knowledge bits like they did in the previous Discovery Tour modes. I'm wondering if I should just narrate every single one of these and just upload that as a straight, like, 2 to 3 hour video on YouTube. And just be like, here's the narration that this multi-million-dollar company couldn't be bothered with for some reason, despite the fact that they did a really good job on this mode.
Frode's betrayal cuts deeper with each navigator we're forced to turn away.
He got an offer he couldn't refuse. Wouldn't you choose to sail with a great sea king given the chance?
I already am. Regardless, Frode broke his word. Now we have no navigator and no men in the middle of the sailing season. How are we supposed to cross the sea?
Trick is waiting for us in Notfall without...
Dread the great waters more than a feral cat. They'll be of no use in the upcoming storm. No. I'll ask my mother. She knows everyone in Eikundarsund. I'll find a clan to join us there.
Is it wise
Eikundarsund.
for you to go? They
They
might not agree to sail with a woman aboard.
I'm sure my charms will outweigh their fears.
Trick. I gather these crates are full of dried cod?
They are. And the other ones have hard bread, mead, and wool canvases for the crew.
Excellent. You have served us well for many years now, Trick. Faithfully.
I can't say it was a pleasure, but you've treated me with respect.
Oof.
I'm grateful for it.
Oh, right, slave.
Now I hope my debt has been paid.
In full. Are you sure I can't tempt you to come with us? Your help would be invaluable.
Shackles here versus shackles across the sea? Tough choice to make.
Oh, you misunderstand me. I free you, here and now. But if you return to me willingly as a slave, you can purchase a place amongst my crew. Once we're established in the land across the sea, I'll free you for good, and take you as my partner in trade.
Not many slaves would get an offer like that. Well then, let's get these supplies on board before the storm hits us.
Thanks for clipping through me. I appreciate the honesty to the slavery, though. As Thorstein and Trig loaded the ship, Gunhilda makes her way towards Eikundarsund. Fuck, I pronounced it earlier and I still can't get it. Too many syllables. You had to fade to black. You couldn't just like hit transition camera to her. She's like 10 feet away. Oh, whatever. Divinities of the seas, myth and legends. Many divinities oversaw the sea and oceans. One of the most important was Njord, a god from the Vanir tribe, father of the twin fertility gods Freyr and Freyja. Njord looked after the sea and the winds, or the sea, the winds, and fishermen like those aboard this ship. Another sea divinity was Aegir. He was not a god, but a giant, and the embodiment of the sea itself. His name meant sea. Legend said that Aegir sat at the head of a great underwater hall, where all those lost at sea would join together and feast beneath the waves. Oh, so kind of like reversed Valhalla, I guess. Aegir's wife, the goddess Ran of the Aesir tribe, was not as kindly to her husband. She would stalk reckless sailors and shipwreck victims, trap them in her nets, and drag them to the watery depths down. Ouch. All of this is cool. Oh, I can't go to first person on my horse? Ah, oh, that's right. It's weird some of the decisions they took over, like, Origins and Odyssey. Why can't you go into first person climbing or horse or whatever? White landscapes that were... Okay, I'm curious.
For players to recognize their surroundings easily, developers wanted to create a clash between the English and Norwegian maps. So Norwegian landscapes are covered with ice and snow, with little road to travel by land. While Scandinavia wasn't as barren as we're made to believe, the harsh and uninviting land depicted in AC Valhalla means to push the player towards England and continue Eivor's journey. To do so, level artists, tech artists, and level designers used the Lofoten Island as a visual reference to emulate its rough landscapes. Through shapes and outlines, the designers made the world feel treacherous, while England's flora is lush and lively. The grass is always greener on the other side of the sea.
That is a stunning landscape, though. I should go to Scandinavia at some point. Hold on. I'm too entertained by this. It's just a crow plowing through the snow. I don't know why I find this so funny and entertaining, but it's... I mean, an artist took the time to make this. This is awesome. It's surprisingly crow-like. These pretty boys, whatever, and then, you know, the Vikings just raided and pillaged, so...
I seem to have been visited
doesn't
by
matter.
Goddess Freya herself. Come, embrace your mother.
Okay.
Mother, it's been a while.
Far too long. The sheep miss you, Gunhilda. They can't bear the thought of losing you to the land across the sea.
They might not have to.
Whatever is troubling you, my love, we will remedy it.
We need more men. The clan we recruited has decided to remain on land. We're left with no navigator nor crew.
Some clans have just returned from the sea. I've seen them camp nearby. I can take you to them, but you'll have to be persuasive.
Do you doubt my abilities, Mother?
I wouldn't dare. You've always had wits sharper than Gungnir. I can only hope that just like Odin's spear, you will return to me.
You know we must go where our opportunities lie. This land is overcrowded. We want our own fields, to harvest our own crops.
Well, you want English
All right.
fields, let's be
I won't
fair
push
here.
any further. Your father will be heartbroken.
And you won't be?
My heart broke the day you left our home.
Oh. See, this is that quality voice acting I wanted and was talking about. Don't know why they fucked it up for other characters. Why leave Scandinavia? Oh, topical. To be a landowner was to have high status in Norse society. The wealthiest Scandinavians controlled vast estates. Land could be that could increase a person's power and their wealth. This made it very desirable. It's also very hard to get. Not much has changed, has it? There wasn't much land in Scandinavia that was arable or good for growing crops. Furthermore, Norse land ownership was complicated. It was believed that a person's forebears continued to inhabit their awful or ancestral territory beyond death. Because a family's ancestors lived on the land, it could not be divided. When a parent passed away, their land could not be split amongst their children. It could only be possessed by one member of the family at a time. That left many people unable to inherit land, and many people attempted to leave Scandinavia and seek it elsewhere. They might have found a fresh start in a community like the one pictured here, an imagined settlement in Northumbria. Oh, this is Jean-Claude Galvin. It's cool that they contracted him, because usually he does more ancient stuff rather than this time period, more or less, but I like that they recruited him for it, because he's just got such a good artistic detail. Oh.
Free men of Eikundarsund, heed my call. We are looking for those brave enough to defy the whale road with us. Will you sail with us?
I saw you on the path earlier. You came here on a horse, didn't you?
I did.
And you shamelessly admitted. You fool. No, I won't sail with you. I don't want to face the spirit's wrath.
I intended to break the curse of sailing with a woman when riding that horse. It should protect us.
Have you seen the sky? The gods are already punishing you for your arrogance.
Bondi, join us.
My men and I have just returned from years of Viking with Guthrum's warband. It's time for us to tend to our crops and see our children grow.
When do you leave?
Today.
Have you sailed before?
My husband sailed with Harald Jarl himself. He sailed enough for both of us.
I've learned to be wary of boastful spirits. Your word alone isn't enough.
How can I convince you to accompany us?
Well, why are you leaving our northern land?
Gold.
My husband is a second son. If we were to stay, our farm will pass to his eldest brother, and we'll be left with nothing.
I understand that all too well. My men and I have found this temporary campsite, but we've got nowhere to go.
Then come with us.
It does sound tempting. Would you have enough supplies for all my men?
My husband is loading the meat and the dried fish aboard our ship as we speak. We'll have plenty for everyone.
How will we be sleeping?
We'll protect ourselves with wool canvases.
That should be enough. How will you find your way across the sea?
Okay, so they insulted him for the other dude for using sunstones, so...
We'll observe the signs Midgard has given us. The birds, the currents, the stars. The spirits will show us the way. We need someone to interpret it.
You're right. I can help you around these shores, but in the midst of the wave world, we'll need an expert.
We? Have you decided to come?
I have. You speak true and my men are ready to settle.
I'm honored. Gather your men and your things. I'll take you to our ship.
Woohoo! Fast and flying colors.
I should know better than to ever doubt you. You excel once again.
There's little to stand in your way when you aim for the sky. Stigur's clan will accompany us. But we remain short a navigator.
I thought of someone while loading the ship.
Who?
You'll need to trust me. But we must reach Helloya first. And fast. The storm is imminent. It's looming on the horizon like a bad omen. Have we offended the gods in some way?
I rode a horse to my mother.
Gundhilda.
You asked me to trust you. It's only fair you do the same. We didn't have time to pay our respects to the spirits. I did what I must. Now, how do we reach Helloya?
I know where Helloya is.
Then, lead the way.
We must exit the fjord. Sail right.
that sun. Where am I going? Also, I think I've hit every point. Yeah, I've hit every point. Sweet. And where the fuck am I going? I think I have to go. I don't know. Alright, well, I'm just gonna. Alright, well, that's easy enough. Seafaring. In a society with neither maps nor compasses, a sailor needed a keen knowledge of the seascape. Did they really not? I guess, okay. There were several ways to acquire this sea lore. One was through ancestral tradition. Late Iron Age Scandinavia loose sailing routes discovered dozens of decades earlier, well, if not centuries. They passed this knowledge down from generation to generation, although through an oral tradition. Their maritime expertise was transmitted by word of mouth to their descendants, who secured it by repetition and imitation. The other way was through direct experience. Becoming a sailor required being in the field, or in this case, on the boat. Sailors were constantly performing the same shipboard maneuvers and traveling through the same routes. Through repetition, seafarers became familiar with the motion of the sailor and of the ship as it navigated different weather and different currents. This practical style of learning helped sailors gain a much deeper understanding of seafaring than they would have from from a theoretical approach. I'm sorry, I thought that was two words for a second. Here is a beautiful photo of Norway showing the stunning grandeur of the landscape that flanked Vikings on their way to new adventurous expeditions. God damn it, man. Norway is basically just Skyrim. Change my mind. It's also basically just Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's kind of obvious. Oh yeah, give me another song. Let's do it.
Now, get closer to the shore, but make sure to keep the rocks on your left and the land on your right. We don't want to damage the hull.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Boy, I really wish I remember the button to change tracks. Oh. Oops. Did I desynchronize? No. Come on. Don't do this to me.
Embrace the shore until you see a tower of ice.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, hang on. I gotta figure out how the fuck do we change songs. Longship. Stop shanty. Start shanty. Next song. Okay. I wanted to sing though. No, whatever.
There! The ice tower! Sail towards it! But beware, we're in shallow waters now.
Oh, that's a bunch of shipwrecks.
resounds the mighty hall.
Well done. Now we're going to pass a small island filled with sea lions.
Cool. Okay, I understand why they didn't put a compass waypoint now, because they want you to actually like listen to the navigator and navigate. That's a nice touch. Island filled with sea lions? Is that them there? Looks, well... Oh, there's a bear! There's a bear! Bear! It didn't look like it was filled with sea lions, though. I assume we're going here. I feel like that's a safe bet. Oh. Shit, 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 shit. Everyone stop. Oh, I wasn't even close. Seems very beaconing.
Do you see the light? Go towards it.
Okay.
It's our destination.
Alright, alright, alright. Man, this place is really dark and depressing.
We've arrived! This is Halloya.
Well, you know what they say, when Halloya freezes over.
You shouldn't be here.
Bjorn, brother, I've come to...
Brother? When have we ever been brothers?
We were in the same Filak, Bjorn. We've sworn oaths to respect, support, and protect each other. They still hold true for me.
Those oaths were broken long before my exile, Thorstein, by both of us. You might have forgotten, but I've had years of solitude to remember.
Your scorn would be the death of us all. I haven't forgotten, but I refuse to let the past haunt my future. Maybe you should do the same. We need you, Bjorn. Join us. Lead us through the salted mountains.
Is this a trick? Why come to me?
Can't you trust that not everyone is deceitful? No other sea rider tames the waves like you do.
Now that I can believe.
Take me to your ship then, and we'll leave this wretched place.
I see you've made a true sea king of yourself.
It wasn't always pleasant, but I haven't been idle.
It must be nice to have Harald's support.
Mostly Gunhilda's. But yes.
This place doesn't seem so bad. I would kind of like living in a place like this. It's got plenty of food. Plenty of fire. He seems like he took exile pretty good. He's still in shape. I don't know. It seems all right. Hello, Raven.
Gunhilda, you haven't changed.
That's
Still
enough from you. Leave us.
as merciless as the Northern Sea.
I know what you're going to say.
Yet it didn't stop you from making such a foolish decision.
You would have never agreed.
And with good reason. How are you so quick to forget?
I'm not.
I don't trust him.
Neither do I. But he's in that boat as well. He won't put us all in danger.
And after that?
After that, we'll part ways. The Isle of Britannia has plenty of land to spare.
Oh, may the gods hear you.
Well, it's not like we got another navigator, so good luck, everyone. Oh gosh, I can tell.
Towards the eye of the storm! Brace yourselves! The road is treacherous!
No kidding. With the help of Bjorn, an old foe turned ally, and Styggir's crew, Thorstein and Gunhilda are set to depart. As they sail towards new land, they will be able to leave shared enmities behind. Will they be able to leave shared enmities behind, or will they let the past rule their future? Into the West completed, the journey has begun. Barter for peace. Brother Elric has been Guthrum's hostage for many months while the tide of battle has turned in Alfred's favor. Now Alfred has besieged the Dane army at Chippenham and will wait his final word. Will it be execution or mercy?
Praise be to God, the Most High. Glory of glory, Lord of lords. Help me to show your grace and forgiveness to those who need it most.
Guthrum Jarl approaches.
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Elrich, are you done speaking with your god for now?
My dialogue with him is constant, my lord, even if my lips are not moving.
My lord this, my lord that. You Saxons are quick to bend the knee. Perhaps it's why you make such excellent prisoners.
And yet King Alfred's army of Saxons has you surrounded.
Yes, well. I had expected him to send for you, but 5 months and more he has left you here with no word. Perhaps you are not as precious to him as you led me to believe.
For what man knows the things of a man except the spirit which is in him?
Or perhaps he finds your habit of quoting dead men as insufferable as I do.
I doubt that very much, my lord.
Come, walk with me. It must be almost time for you to pray again. I'll speak plainly.
Jeez.
I've kept my men from pillaging Chippenham so that Alfred will have no quarrel with me should he retake his home.
I see.
Do you? If he bests us.
Interesting. Military leadership. Ah, yes, this helmet. The Sutton helmet. Anglo-Saxon armies were not led by a single general. Each warband had more than one leader, and at least one of them would take up the position behind their army to supervise the battle. It may also have been mandatory to have another leader on the front lines, well placed to lead by example. A commander who would get his hands dirty with the rest of his men was the source of inspiration and morale, two key qualities that kept armies fighting against unfavorable odds. This artifact, known as the Sutton Who Helmet, some scholars believe it belonged to King Raedwald of East Anglia, allegedly a strong military leader. Yes, I recall seeing many videos about this helmet. It is a beautiful helmet. That is a bit of an absurdist axe, but alright,
You
sure.
served
Intimidation
under
factor.
Alfred for many years. Tell me, how does he keep the loyalty of his men? After so many years of defeat, surely his soldiers would join another army.
King Alfred's role has been ordained by God. To desert him would be to go against divine will.
There are no contests of strength, no challenges to his rule.
Why would there be? He alone is destined to lead us until God chooses otherwise.
There may be something to this religion of yours after all.
Ah, yes. Let me keep all the power, of course. Hang on. Did I miss a site down there? I'm sure I missed a site down there. Well, that's fine. Hold on. Cool looking dude.
What is going on here?
No. The relic. It's gone.
I want every Saxon in this place searched head to toe.
Wait!
Remember your place, Saxon.
These people have been here since the siege began. They've no reason to steal, not now, and nowhere to flee if they did.
You accuse my men?
I accuse no one. Let me speak with those present. I will find the thieves.
No. You will return to your cell immediately. I will discover who is responsible before Alfred hears of it and decides to retake Chippenham by force.
I don't think I read this one. Okay, long ships had an open deck. The distance between the keel and the floor was relatively short, usually less than 1 meter. This meant that supplies had to be stacked around the crew. So did the equipment, which included oars, weapons, and anything else sailors would have needed during their travels once they reached land. All of these items left the crew with very little room to move around, as can be seen in this photograph. It's not much. I mean, it's a smaller ship, but still. Sleeping conditions depended on the type of travel undertaken. During short voyages or river journeys, the crew would pull the boat ashore and sleep on land. For long-distance ocean crossings, crew members would be forced to sleep on their bench or on the floor. A canvas could be stretched over the crew, forming a tent that would protect them as well as protect them as well as possible. That's not written correctly. From the weather, while providing them with a roof under which to rest. Okay, so I was wondering about that. So it was seemingly extremely uncomfortable for long voyages. Okay, a familiar battleground. By the time of Guthrum's incursion, Scandinavians were no longer strangers to the land of Anglo-Saxon England. Years of contact with the locals had given them knowledge far beyond what was gathered by first raiders through coastal trading and scouting. What's more, the Scandinavians had settled in England, many of them now called the kingdom home. The younger members of the community had grown up in conquered or pacified kingdoms. This meant that they were very familiar with the language, custom, and religion of the territory. This map shows principal routes taken by the Vikings during their raid on the kingdom of Wessex. Each colored zone represents a kingdom. Red is East Anglia, yellow is Mercia, green is Wessex, and each number corresponds to a specific location. Thetford is 1, 2 is Reading, 3 is Cambridge, 4 is Wareham, 5 is Exeter, 6 is Gloucester, 7 is Chippenham. Oh God. Each arrow constitute Viking troops movement done in the 1870s. In the 870s. A is 870, B is 875, C is 876, D is 877, and E is 878. So basically each year, each campaigning season, artifact was taken. I unlocked a character. Excellent.
My apologies, but did you happen to witness anyone exiting the church with items made of gold or silver?
Surely I did. Some Saxons came here and took everything they could, carrying it all off to the butcher's house, next to the market.
That seems strange. Good Christians would have no reason to take what is theirs already.
Are you questioning my honor?
Merely making an observation. Thank you for your candor. Tell me, brother, did you see who stole from the chapel?
Don't ask me. Please, just go.
Alright then.
Young one, did you see anyone carrying items of gold from the chapel?
I saw some men in furs and armor hiding things under their cloaks. They were talking about leaving Chippenham at night and said the statue would be too heavy. Then they went to the big house next to the Great Hall.
You have done our lord a tremendous service, child. Thank you. Guthrum should know what I found.
Ah, yes, that child, I'm sure, will be strung up and down tomorrow.
Sister, did you see who took the relic and the rest of the gold?
I saw nothing! Now leave me alone!
I need to find out what happened to the relic.
They got a proper voice actress for her, but they couldn't give a proper voice actress. That was, well, of all the lines you could have fed to an AI script, that would have been one of them. That's easy enough, kind of. I guess it wouldn't convey the right emotion, but still, it's supposed to represent. But I don't know.
Bjorn, pleasure to see you. I'm searching for our sacred relics that have been taken from the chapel.
I see.
May I look inside to clear your good name?
Certainly not. My men are sleeping, and I won't have them disturbed by some monk on a foolish hunt for fault where there is none.
The child said that thieves went to the big house next to the Great Hall.
Yaha, so I'm gonna do a little bit of Assassin's Creeding here, it seems. Surely there's another way in. Or was I literally just supposed to go through the other door? Okay, so it does want me to climb. But like, but where? Okay, what the fuck? What the... Am I just missing something? Investigate the house next to the Great Hall. Yeah, this is it. Am I just being really stupid? I think I'm just being really dumb. Okay, I get that it... Oh, okay, I am being really dumb. Something about it being under the tarps? My men are sleeping in here, you're right. Not a single person in here. Aha. To Guthrum Jarl. Bjorn looks for a true sea king to honor. Thorstein Oathbreaker lies. Uh-oh. Bjorn is a good sea rider and warrior. He will bring us many riches. Welcome him to our Felag, my Jarl. I trust him. Ah, so Bjorn was untruthful, but he did get us here, so I mean, I guess that's good enough, right? Also, what is all this? That's all our shit.
Out of the mouth of babes.
What were you able to get?
Not much. We're guarding the food carefully now, but we should have enough for 2 or 3 days.
We'll leave tonight then, before Alfred's war dogs arrive. Gather the gold into sacks, and let no one see you.
It shall be as you say, Bjorn Jarl.
Bjorn Jarl? Yeah, right. Fuck off. God damn it, Bjorn. I mean, I don't think he's... Well, hold on. Is he screwing Thorstein over? I think he is.
My lord, I found the missing gold and the relic of Ely.
I told you to return to your cell, Elrich. I will not brook disobedience, not from my men and not from you.
Nah, fuck Bjorn.
Bjorn is organizing your men to flee Chippenham by night and leave you to face Alfred's wrath alone.
What? If you are lying to me, monk, now return to your cell. Do not let me lay eyes on you until you come at my command.
Yes, my lord.
But I'm so hungry. Why does this game make me incredibly hungry?
Good morrow, Bjorn. Have you come to join me in prayer?
Never, monk. Guthrum Jarl wants to speak with you in the Longhouse. Bring your golden idol. You'll need it before long.
Bjorn is waiting. I should not stoke his impatience.
I thought that says stroke his impatience. I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. Bring my golden idol. Oh, hey, the golden idol that you stole?
It's time to travel again, old friend.
This relic carries a shard of the one true cross, if you doubt its potency.
I doubt every lie that falls from your lips. Asher Guthrum, you made it trouble for me and my men.
Trouble brought upon you by your own actions.
And by a monk who doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Only after we admit our faults and beg forgiveness can we hope to atone for them.
Spare me your sermons. I won't forget the debt you owe me. And neither will you, if you have a mind to keep living.
It's time to travel again, old friend.
Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. Oh well, that's probably not what a monk would have done on the day. I'm sure everyone's gonna live anyways.
You wished to see me, my lord?
Your king has finally sent for you. Alfred has delivered the terms of my surrender and I have accepted. You are no longer my prisoner.
Thank you, my lord. I will remember you in my prayers.
One moment, Elrich. I admit the insights I gleaned into the Saxon mind through our discussions made Alfred's terms easier to swallow. He wants me to be baptized, to become a Christian king. It is you who convinced me that doing so would increase my power, not diminish it.
Of course, any who come to the Lord are welcome. Hopefully in time, you will appreciate the many other gifts God offers beyond mere power as well.
Mere power? Hold your tongue, monk. With the treaty signed, your usefulness is at its end. Leave by the main gate. A horse awaits you. Now go before I change my mind.
Yes, my lord.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. What? Oh, okay.
It is King Alfred who must claim this great victory, though of course God strengthens his hand. Brother Elrich, I was told to wait on you. King Alfred desires to see you at once.
And let us not keep the good king waiting. What news in Winchester since Christmas?
Hang on. Aristocrats could gather their kin to fight or use levy to conscript commoners into the ranks, but the latter was especially slow. During the Viking invasions era, a Scandinavian band could plunder the countryside of a region before a noble could assemble his troops. The creation of a more stable military force, suggested and implemented by Alfred, ensured a quicker reaction to Viking raids. The common conception of the Vikings going to war surrounded by his loyal lords is somewhat misleading. Although the king did call upon men to fight, it seems that each of the lords, the thanes, led their own armies rather than place them under the command of the king. Okay, makes sense.
Too much for me to say. But the battle at Eddington was won, and soon the countryside will be free for all good Wessex men to till and plough as before.
For so many years of war, the land seems all but untouched.
Yea, nature's beauty has taken not nearly so hard a beating as we have.
It's a pleasure to see it again as a free man.
Didn't I read this already? Oh, no, I didn't. In this map, each solid arrow represents an advance, while a dashed arrow shows a retreat. Red is for Alfred's forces, B is for Guthrum's forces. Each number corresponds to a specific event. The first, which is over here, is January 878. King Alfred and his men were chased from Chippenham by the Guthrum's army. They were forced to retreat to the marshes of Athelney, where they built fortifications to protect themselves. Mark II, down here. In the first weeks of May 878, Alfred secretly called a levy at Egbertstone. Men from neighboring counties answered and joined the king and his retinue. 3, which is over here. Guthrum, informed of the gathering of the Fyrds, the English militia, readied his troops to intercept the coming army and move to the ancient fortifications of Bratton Camp, south of Chipman. 4. On the 12th of May, the two armies met in battle in the fields of Eddington. 5. On that same day, the Anglo-Saxons routed the Vikings. Surprising. Guthrum fled, retreating to Chippenham. This defeat marked the end of his reign as a Viking chieftain. People who enjoyed fantasy novels might be interested to learn that this whole narrative was very probably a source of inspiration for J.R.R. Tolkien's In the Lord of the Ring. Interesting. But which specific part of the Lord of the Rings was inspired by this? I wonder.
What news of the king? How does he celebrate his triumph?
With more plans and late-night discussions. I've never seen a man smile so little when reporting such a great victory.
He's right to be wary. Guthrum is not tamed yet.
If you say so. His ferocity seemed to be at an ebb when I delivered King Alfred's terms.
Hang on. Is that... Hang on. Oh, I think it is. I think that's Stonehenge. Isn't it?
It would be well if we are done with war for his sake and ours.
I'll drink to that, brother.
Is that Stonehenge? I think it's Stonehenge. Avery Megaliths. Oh no, this is a different one. Megalithic monuments, including stone circles, can be found throughout the world. In England, there are a number of standing stones arranged in a circle. Sometimes the megaliths stand alone, sometimes in pairs, and topped with a stone roof or lid. Avebury is home to one of the biggest stone circles in the world. It was built... It has a diameter of 331.6 meters. So about half that for radius. It was built during the 4th millennium BCE. Wow, really? Holy shit. So that's 6,000 years ago. Oh, before Common Era. No, that's 6,000 years ago, right? Avebury Monument features a large henge, a raised ring of earth, a big outer stone circle, and 2 smaller inner circles at its center. Wow, that stone is so smooth. Nope, that's the wrong button. Hang on. Oh, he gets a pigeon. Yeah, that's right. Cool. I did not know this place existed. It doesn't surprise me. I'm sure you must be able to find Stonehenge in the game. I think it's covered in the game area. Yep, just bulldoze everyone. That's fine. God damn, this is a really... It's a very pretty town. Actually, this is a really big town, too. Oh, there's gonna be so many places I'm gonna have to go check out.
King Alfred awaits you inside.
Thank you for ensuring my safe return. Alfred will be waiting on my return.
Oh, pretty stained glass. The Witan. The Witan was made up of aristocrats from both secular and religious backgrounds. They were noblemen and archbishops, earldomen, I've never read that word before, but alright, and abbots. Depicted in this illustration at the ruler's side, the Witan acted as his counselors. Their advice was meant to ensure that the ruler's laws were just and worthy. The presence of the Witan meant that lawmaking was a group activity. As with any project, the better the team that worked together, the better the final product. If the king and the Witan had a difficult relationship, the system could break down. For while the king could summon the Witan could also summon the king. If a king was ignoring the Witan and their advice, the Witan could challenge his laws. The king and the Witan needed to find a healthy balance of power between them, so that laws could be passed quickly and efficiently. Yeah, it's good to have checks and power, I suppose. Only if the checks are good, though. Yeah, good placement of it. You just clipped it through the floor, ya idiot.
Brother Elrich, you are returned to me at last.
By God's grace, it is so.
And by mine. I was the one who included your safe passage in the terms of Guthrum's surrender.
Then I am grateful to you as well, my lord.
And you have returned with the relic of Ely. I was ready to chase the Danes to recover it, but I see you have the matter well in hand.
With Guthrum's aid, yes.
You speak kindly of him, even after so many months as his captive. Truly, you exemplify Christ's grace. Now come, we have a baptism to plan.
We've got a city to burn. Three weeks later. Oh, we're gonna dunk his head in the water.
The baptism will soon begin.
Oh my god, I thought that was the character. I forgot. Okay. The gift of East Anglia. Oh, no way. By legitimizing Guthrum's right to rule, Alfred encouraged him to respect his oath. In addition, with Guthrum as a Christian ally in East Anglia, Alfred created a territorial buffer to prevent future Scandinavian raiding parties from heading back up the River Thames into Wessex. However, there was a problem. East Anglia was not Alfred's to give. He had never ruled nor conquered that independent kingdom, and neither had his ancestors. In other words, Alfred lost no territory by gifting Guthrum a land that was not his. Moreover, he secured his own possessions and allowed his new land and indebted ally to stabilize the region that had been in turmoil since the death of its last king, Saint Edmund, who was killed by Vikings in 869. This map shows the territorial separation of early medieval Britain before the treaty between Alfred and Guthrum. In green, the lands that were under the control of Alfred, which corresponded to the kingdoms of Mercia and Wessex, 1 and 2, and in red, the area that was not under control of Alfred, including the kingdom of East Anglia. Gotta say though, that is a pro gamer move, giving away not your territory to someone who is not your relative to keep people who are not your, kingdom, your subjects, so that your kingdom can be safeguarded. Real pro gamer move. Oh my god, why am I blanking on this chunk of land? Wales, that's what. Yeah, Wales. They were their own thing.
That's why I've chosen the name Adale Stan for you. I trust you agree it is fitting.
Jarl Guthrum, to have you come in peace to our city at last fills my heart with joy.
You seem well, Elrich. Freedom agrees with you.
As a life in the service of Christ will agree with you.
Indeed. Let us delay this happy occasion no longer.
I should take my place amongst the faithful.
Okay, before I do that, let me just inspect everything. Okay, there's the artifact. Here's the thing I want to read. By having Guthrum baptized, Alfred forced his old foe to conform to the spiritual system that Alfred followed, Christianity. Alfred used that system to his advantage. He cunningly chose himself to be Guthrum's godfather. By making himself Guthrum's spiritual guide, Alfred created ties of symbolic kinship between them. However, baptism had political benefits for Guthrum as well. Being Alfred's godson gave him the status of a respected Christian leader. Guthrum was made king of East Anglia, a member of a small, select circle of Anglo-Saxon monarchs. Guthrum's transformation as a Christian ruler was a political win for both the Vikings and his godfather, Alfred. This illustration depicts an idealized baptism scene from the epic poem, the Chanson d'Aspremont. Popular in later medieval England, it imagines the baptism of a character named Balin, an Iberian royal messenger at the court of Emperor Charlemagne. Alright, let the baptism begin. Everyone in order? Yeah, hang on. Get your lines straight, damn it. Oh, bro, I can be Odin. Sweet. Speaking of Christians.
Si igita vis ad vitam ingredi, serva mandate. Diligus dominum diem tuum ex toto cortu, et ex tota animatua, et ex totement tua, et proximum tuum sicut typsum.
Amen.
Axapi signum crucis tam in front, quam in cord, sum fidem plastium preceptorum, et talis esto moribus, ab tempum Deum es possis.
Amen. Amen.
Brother Elric's safe return with the relic from the Isle of Ely gives new support to Alfred's political ambitions. With Guthrum now baptized, the stage is set for a new era of peace and prosperity between the two Christian kingdoms. Peace restored. Alright,